Hey everybody, this is Matt Shu from Upright Health. Today I want to show you how to do some contract and relax techniques in your stretching routine to help you make some more progress when you feel like you've hit a plateau with some flexibility issues. So I'm going to show you this with a standing hamstring stretch. We're just going to put your foot up onto a bench and we're going to slowly come forward into the stretch. So we start getting the stretch down along the hamstrings. Now let's say I hit a plateau here and I want to figure out some way to trick my brain and my body to allow me to go a little bit further. So what I can do is start contracting. First, we're going to do this with my antagonist muscles. So my hamstrings are the muscles we're trying to stretch. The antagonists to the hamstrings are going to be the quads and also the hip flexors, right? So hamstrings, we're going to flex my knee. They also help with hip extension. So antagonist muscles are the ones that do the opposite. So quads will extend the knee and hip flexors will bring the thigh bone up towards the chest. So what I'm going to do first is contract the quads. So right now I'm firing these guys and I'm trying to also fire my hip flexors. Firing, counting to 3 to 5 usually works pretty well. And then I relax, and boom, you can actually see I started going further. So again, I'm going to contract the quads, contract the hip flexors, get those antagonist muscles firing, and then I relax them, and I go a little bit further. Now, the other thing I could do for this contract-relax technique is also contract the actual muscles that I'm trying to stretch. So now I'm going to contract my hamstrings. I'm trying to get a little bit of knee bend, a little bit of hip extension. So knee bend here, hip extension, just trying to get those hamstrings to fire. Then I relax and go a little bit further. So again, I'm going to fire those hamstrings and then relax and I go a little bit further. Now I'm going to go back to my antagonist. I'm going to turn on the quads, turn on the hip flexors, count to 3, and then relax a little bit further. So now you can see visibly that I've gone further than where I was before just by using the contract and relax technique on the agonist muscles and the antagonist muscles. So to review, you want to make sure you get into the stretch position, whichever muscle group you're thinking about stretching. You can do antagonists, you can do agonists, count to 3 to 5 to make them work. In the context of people who have multiple problems going on with their hips, if you have hip impingement, one thing to think about is that the glutes can often be a muscle group that is being downregulated by activity of other muscles. So you need to think about these agonist and antagonist relationships when you're trying to basically help your hips get better. So a lot of times, if we're doing like a quad stretch or we're doing like a hip flexor stretch, we need to be thinking about doing contract relax techniques that involve the glutes, right? So a lot of times you hear when people are doing hip flexor stretches, you're supposed to use your glutes, contract your glutes. That is part of this, right? This is that same contract relax situation. So if I'm doing like a hip flexor stretch, I need to make sure that I turn this on, not only because I'm trying to train my body to hold the femur in proper position, but also because it's going to help me actually stretch out the muscles on the front of the hip, right? So these are the antagonists to the hip flexors. So when you squeeze, it helps you get a better stretch to the hip flexors. So hopefully the contract relax technique helps you out. Use it in different stretches, use it in different methods, see how it works for you. And please remember that pain sucks, life shouldn't.